Hey, Gecko Gang. I'm being a little bit quiet today, and what is that? Oh, that's right. Just noticed that's going through a different channel as well for some reason. I thought I'd been playing all that music and it's muted. Weird timing that the Razia Chocobo theme is playing. But I hope everyone's doing well. I'm trying Where the Water Tastes Like Wine. No idea what this game is. It's been in my Epic for a while. Thought I'd give it a go. Going in a stream a bit. Obviously, I've not been streaming that much. Since CO's been up. We did that Otter game, that was a lot of fun. It's not a bit awkward trying to fit on the same PC at the same time. Oh, wow, what? Okay. Uh, the fuck? Okay, that's bad. Just to absolutely kill my stream. That's a bit annoying. So, I guess I'm not trying that game. I loaded it up and it disconnected my OBS. Um, well, fuck. Hmm, Give me that. Hmm. Try that one more time. Because I noticed it just completely killed my OBS when I launched the game. Like what? Oh, they're not. And so how was it this time? Oh, that was weird. My far up on the screen for some reason. Um,
Night has fallen and you're weary from travel. Stars fill the sky above, and in front of you is a brightly lit wooden house, the only building you've seen for days.
got no live ticker at the bottom of my stream, so it looks like I'm not live when I'm looking at OBS. Oh no, there we go. No, it's being a bit weird. Right.
You walk toward the house, hearing the sounds of laughter and talk as you reach the door and push it open. You sit down and join the game. It's a cheap buy-in, and not many of the other players are very good. The lady fiddling with dice gets good cards, but has no real strategy. The man to your right seems to just hold on to the highest cards he has, regardless of suit or any consideration of matches. The man in gray across from you, though, he's good. He already had the largest pile of coins when you bought in, and while your winnings grow quickly, you can't quite catch him. One by one, the other players leave the table, sometimes with pique or with wry humor, leaving their winnings with you or the man in gray. Finally, it's just you and the man in gray. He looks at you, full of humor, and winks. Last hand? He deals, you draw, and look at your hand. It's good. It's great. The best hand, in fact. A royal straight flush. Spades. Aces high. But the man in gray pushes forward his whole pile. You're not sure exactly how much it is, but it's more than you've got. You can't match that. The man in gray stops you. Now, if you like, I'll let you wager your word. I know you'll be good for it. Just promise you'll pay the debt, however I ask. Yep. 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace. All spades. The man in gray smiles. All right, then. I'll call.
Something better.
Well, your luck wasn't so good, was it? That's quite the hand, but not for the game we're playing. I'm afraid you owe me. Your life, sure, but more than that, your labor.
Music's really nice.
You see, this land is built on stories. It's one big story, this country, woven of many small ones. Few of the small ones are strictly true, and the big story is mostly a lie. All the stories and songs and myths and legends start somewhere, with a seed. As they're told and retold and passed around, they grow and change to become the stories we know. To pay your debt to me, you'll be carrying stories, finding the seeds first and then spreading them, telling them onwards so they can begin gaining strength. This is no light task. Stories are heavy. Most of the stories you'll find will be small seeds. They might be true, but they'll grow wild and unbelievable with the telling. The more important stories are the true ones, the ones people will tell you about their own lives. Those often get lost in the weaves of the big story. The more true stories you can find and tell, the more you can weave that truth into the big story. Tarnish it a bit perhaps, but isn't a dingy and battered truth better than a shining lie? Now, go ahead. You tell me a story. I'll trade you some information about your task.
Yeah, to be a volume thing for it. Let me turn it down in the sound settings. Definitely should do. On the OBS.
You sometimes have to make choices about what kind of story you're finding. Is it a love story or a tragedy? Don't gather too many of one kind, though. This grand story needs variety. It's just luck. Funny how bad luck seems to follow the folks who already have problems aplenty. Well, try your luck out there in this country. See how the dice treat you.
Honestly, still not really sure what I'm doing in this game.
It's not all bad. You'll have to work hard, but I'll give you the gift for seeing the true shapes of people. Not many who can do that.
Tell a story
Travel? That's your job. Wander from place to place, gather those stories and spread them. People get bored hearing the same stories over and over. But an old...
The story of the party of a cloud of fog to reveal a brief glimpse of land on the sand plantain.
Your deepest desires? Your greatest wish? Heaven? Big Rock Candy Mountain? El Dorado, the Promised Land, that place just over the ridge where they all say that the water tastes just like the sweetest wine. Well, I don't know where that is. It's supposed to be somewhere in this country. Ask the people you meet. They're all searching for the same thing. I'll strip away your flesh to make the journey easier, but still you'll feel pain. Hunger, weariness, thirst, and despair. They're all part of stories, the part not often told.
This is where the water tastes like wine, Cora. I've only just begun
And death,
yes.
yes, but don't worry. As long as your task remains, you come back. Go on your way, Seeker. Maybe we'll meet again, or maybe not. Either way, it'll be an experience for you.
Thanks.
I'm jealous in some ways. I hope you find what you're looking for.
Turn that back up full on my volume mix now. Somehow it's still staying at the same level rounds.
Well, I'm gonna heft my spade up upon my weary back. I'm gonna keep that stride stuck in my soul. 'Cause when my toes burn low, when my trains run out of track, I won't be no.
Do you stream daily? No, I wish. Unfortunately, I work quite a bit.
Follow me, everything is alright.
There's furniture piled in the front yard, ammunition heaped under the mailbox, and a crowd of clean-cut men ripping apart a car in the driveway.
Nice. Yeah, I would stream daily, but unfortunately my work is 7 PM till 3:30 in the morning, so it's kind of killed my streaming runs that I used to do. Yeah, if you put !Gekord, it's just coming up in the top left here. It should drop you the Discord link. It's a bit more of a pain on my kick.
The two heavily armed, mud-caked women leaning over the porch railing share the same bored
It's a
grin.
gecko.
One shouts at you.
It does kind of look dino-ish.
Lend a couple innocent gals a cigarette? You are about to hand her a smoke when those men draw pistols and shove you hard into the dirt. You know these girls? They demand. Once they've dumped your bag out into the road, they decide you're harmless. If you were selling booze too, you'd have a lot more cash, sneers one.
Yeah, I think
On the
it's
porch behind him, the two
Square
bootleggers are
red,
fingering
what does
their
it-
empty rifles, grinning in disappointment.
Goes for the obligation to the wolf by finding all 16 characters. That is a lot of reading. Got all of the US and trade stories with them until you earn their trust and finish their story. By having adventures, you begin to collect stories. When you meet characters, they'll ask you for different types of stories: tragic, hopeful, scary, thrilling, or funny. Remember what sort of adventure you had, and you'll know what type of story you got. How long since it's been gaming? Oh, years. Years and years. Streaming wise, probably about a year, just under. But gaming, as far back as I can remember. I had a Commodore 64 when I was a kid, and then moved on to the PlayStation when the PlayStation 2 came out, because, yeah, my family wasn't the richest, so I was always like a generation behind until the Xbox 360 came out. Or maybe the original Xbox, because yeah, I remember getting Halo in its heyday. The stories will grow and change as you tell them. Once you tell a story to a character, they'll be out in the world and you may encounter someone else who will tell you a better version of it. Yeah. I remember partner did the substance paper for it. I might see if you can recolour that, to be
Off the road and into the woods, You can't help but come across this package by the old tree tied to a sturdy stick. The cloth wrapping conceals, though not particularly well, something large and softly unsettled. Little eyes blink back at you from inside the bundle. The shape gives a start.
Please don't tell my pa that I'm in here.
It says in a small voice.
Pa doesn't want to live with us anymore, but I want to go with him. Don't tell him, please. I'm hiding.
You tell the boy you'll keep his secret. You don't see his father anywhere. You don't see another soul for miles. Come every year, you know. The old man is sitting at the edge of a rotting old pier, crooked legs dangling over the water. He watches a pair of seagulls preen and groom each other on a rock just off the shore. They seem to wait for something together, fidgeting and rubbing against one another. And when they fly off, they fly together. These two, these same two, have been coming here ever since I was a boy, the old man says.
Don't know why, but that voice made me think of George Carlin. This city's going down the tubes.
He watches them fly away until their bodies are dots vanishing into the low sun. Always the same pair. Wonder what keeps him coming back to this town. He shrugs. It must be home. The woman walks the small town square with the poise of Betty Davis, the confident stride and inimitable mannerisms elevating the sidewalk into a plush Hollywood carpet. And wrapped around her neck, a yellow velvet ribbon, bright as an ocean sunrise. You question a well-dressed man parked outside an oyster house. Prudish woman. I took her on a fine date and she didn't remove so much as a ribbon. Excuse me, can you step back from the coupe? That's the spirit. You decide to seek a second opinion. You talk with a waitress smoking outside a diner. Something funny about her. Just showed up one day. Doesn't work, doesn't live anywhere as far as I know. Just around. Myself, I'd love to know who made all her beautiful clothes. You ask the woman if you may join her at a public bench.
You may. Lovely outside, isn't it?
Her eyes are a beautiful shade of brown. Beneath the yellow ribbon, a thick, fibrous scar wraps around her throat.
Weather like this, it reminds me of Paris.
You can see storm clouds on the horizon, and you don't relish the thought of being caught wandering this rocky seaside road in the rain. Fortunately, you find the lighthouse door open, with a daunting staircase before you. At the top of an ornate wrought iron spiral, you're breathless and feeling the strain on your knees. Rain already batters the walls outside. You can only knock on a heavy wooden door leading into the upper level. Muffled voices and light seep in beneath the door. "Looks like we got a visitor." Sounds like a man's voice, deep and rough. "Well, behave yourself. I'll open the door." Another man, this one with a higher, more sonorous voice. "I always behave myself." He feigns indignation, but his tone betrays affection instead. After a moment, the door unlatches from the inside and opens. The man before you is tall and muscular, with a hint of a paunch beneath his wide chest. The heavy iron knob on the door looks nearly dainty in his huge hand. "Didn't want to be out in this rain, did you? Come in." Despite the rough exterior, this room looks like a well-appointed parlor. There's a rug on the well-trod wooden floor and an enormously plush couch. And sat upon it is a stocky fellow grinning through a great hazel-colored beard. "Tea?" he offers, hoisting a teapot. "A few years." The tall one sits on the sofa, wrapping his arm casually around the other lighthouse keeper. "5, says the smaller, but by no means small, man. "That long? Time flies. We traveled together before that. You must have some good stories from the road, huh?" You wake up the next morning on their old sofa, still warm from an excess of tea. And cakes? There might have been little cakes. Prodigious snoring rumbles in from the floor above you, and you quietly take your leave. A dusty truck and a man on horseback pull up next to one another in front of the grocer. Suddenly, the driver and the rider, two wiry old men with identical haircuts, start shrieking at one another. The man with the truck leaps into the street. "Brother!" he shouts. The one on the horse tumbles out of his saddle. "Brother!" he screams. They embrace in the road. 30 years, hollers the driver. The rider, tears streaming down over his face, corrects him. "No, 32! Everyone here is watching these two older men cry and hug one another in the middle of Main Street. Cars and wagons are backing up. People are yelling. "Take a photo of us," the driver begs you. Starts hauling a tripod out of the bed of his truck. As you usher them onto the sidewalk, the driver says, "Joe, I thought you were dead." The rider freezes.
Joe?
He blurts. I'm not Joe. The two men stare at one another, each slowly recognizing something alien in their mistaken brother's face. This city is like no other you've been to. Crooked streets splay out in a maze of narrow passages, no two alike. Soon, you find yourself in twilight, utterly lost. Bright light crests around one corner, a car approaching. Compelled by the cold and foreboding night, you don't question it as you drag your bones into the cab. But you realize immediately how strange the vehicle is. It's a sleek thing, like a shallow parabola gliding over the street.
Parabola. Symmetrical open plane curve formed by the intersection of a cone with a plane parallel to it, so that hasn't really helped. Oh, right. Yeah. But if there is an invisible cone, it'd be like an intersection of that.
Well, I'm gonna scroll my name on the bare bones of the earth.
Where to?
Dig my
He asks.
to the ground.
You have to stop and think.
When that very
Eventually, you name Boston Common, the only landmark you know in this town.
much behind
He peels off silently. You feel the car move before you hear the engine. He takes you through ever odder streets, flanked by painfully clean, gleaming buildings and signage for businesses you don't recognize. Even the air seems different. It doesn't smell so sharply of gasoline and coal. Eventually, you come to a stop. The fare's in glowing numbers above his dashboard. It's much too high. Surely a mistake. No charge, he insists. You look like you need a break. And then you find yourself on the curb at Boston Common, under thick moonlight, in a city much as you'd left it before.
No, that's a weird taxi not charging you. That's some money.
They're the ones who'll bury me.
Look weird, it's not moving. Miraculously, I'm one of the first people in line when this factory's doors open. We join a crowd of people streaming through the machine room towards the back.
Well, I'm gonna cast
When the doors to the furthest storage room open, though the folks in the front ranks recoil with views. Hey, yeah. Shouts the foreman. Get in here. Get in there. Get in. Have a good read. The folks behind you shove forward and seeing you pushed inside. Holy shit. This room is full of fucking snakes. It's a bit of work. It's only snakes. Grab them, shouts the foreman, passing out nets. They're harmless. The remaining workers get over their fear and start scooping up the snakes by the netful. The beast hits pathetically. He dumps them into a chute in the far wall. You got some money. Does pray pretty well. And during lunch you rest on the warehouse floor, snakes pile up in a corner and watch you with enormous suspicion. It's then that you glance out a window and you notice a fading logo. Oh, I'm turning you into boots. No, it's a fading logo on a sign outside Sylvester Bros. Fine Boots. Poor snakes.
Aim on the bare bones of the earth. I'm gonna dig my heels into the ground. 'Cause when that ferryman come for the
Sorry.
my worth, I won't leave much behind to drag me down. Well, I'm gonna have
By nightfall, the hospitality of this sleepy hamlet, combined with their superstitious tales, has both overstuffed your stomach and filled you with a hollow dread. Folks say these woods are full of apparitions, witches, and worse. You curse yourself for getting on the road so late. In the moonlight, every valley and hollow at the feet of the Tappan Zee seems like a stolen shred of the abyss itself. Fireside tales seem less fanciful, and every cackling crow and moaning whippoorwill seems like a demon perched on the shivering, spindly trees. But something cuts through the noise. The muffled sound of hooves galloping on the cold, muddy road. When he finally slows his horse alongside you, it's as though he had just appeared out of the mist. He's astride a gigantic black courser, and though his boots are muddy and ragged, he wears an immaculate coat with great, shining buttons. From his saddle hangs an antiquated flintlock and a cavalry saber. In the darkness, you can hardly see above his towering shoulders.
Howdy, partner.
His voice is a rumbling croak, deep, but as though his throat is filled with thorns. Have you happened upon a cannonball around here? You can tell English isn't his first language. German is. His hand, so pale it's almost blue in the moonlight, grips the reins in a fist.
What's that pentagram?
You mumble an apology and watch as he silently rides away, back into the mist. He's cloaked in black, you notice from behind, but the blood running down over his shoulders glints crimson in the moonlight.
Hey there, stranger. You're welcome to enjoy this fire with me, if you're respectful, that is. This here is my spot, and I ain't inclined to share it with any bad characters. You can call me Quinn. These here are my venturing companions. Cass is the big un, and the one with the spots is Flip. I usually beat my way on the rails, but the road news said this town was fat, and the weather was fine. So I'm taking in the sights and seeing what I can drum up. I want to hear a story about ghosts or murderers or something. Scary stuff. You spin a good yarn. I was shivering there for a little bit. Traps and such like. Well, one time in Fort Worth, a feller tried to take Cass and Flip away. Said a kid couldn't look out for him proper like, that they were fat in Fort Worth and they were going to the pound so that he could find him a good home. Well, before I could much argue, Flip bit the hell out of that busybody, and Cass and I joined in shortly. I don't think I ever seen a fella so surprised. Guess I ain't going back to Fort Worth no more. Hey, tell me one of those exciting stories.
Yeah, pretty good. Just trying to get used to this game. It's a bit of a new one for me. It's been interesting so far.
Ain't life got enough tearjerkers in it without telling stories like that? Jeez. My family. There ain't no way I'm gonna start jaw-flapping about those bastards. Judases, the lot of them. Enough said. Hey, tell me a funny story. You seem like you still got a sense of humor.
Let me stop. What's that? Not necessarily. Oh. No, but that's kind of funny, I guess.
That was a chuckle to be sure. Well, I don't know a whole lot about the past, but they say there's an Injun grave around these parts. Say it's haunted and full up with angry spirits. I used to love hearing stories of cowboys and Injuns fighting it up. Would swap tales with the youngins. But, well, I suppose if someone shot me, I'd be pretty vengeful too. You got any stories that are a little sad?
Oh, do.
Shoot, I ain't teared up. Just got something in my eyes, all. Sad. Oh, so you think just 'cause I'm young, I gotta be sad, crying after my mama every night. I don't need you looking after me, so if you're offering, don't. And I thought I told you to be respectful.
No, you asked for a sad story.
What you really ought to be asking yourself is if you want to keep enjoying my spot or not. You got any happy stories? Not sure I quite follow that one.
You gave me a free cab ride.
What's my future look like? I ain't looking for a traveling companion, if that's what you mean. I do fine by myself, so just stick to minding your own. Oh, heck, the night's over already. I sure enjoyed talking to you, but I gotta get on. I think I'll see what's happening up the road this way. The tramping life suits me just fine. Every day is a venture. With things being so depressed, folks walk around like it's the end of everything good. But it ain't. Plenty nice things to see if you know where to look.
That's what I'm quite enjoying. It's a crow. Going down the road, Black Crow flutters down to land in your path. It looks at you, cocks its head and speaks. Well, you've got a long, long road ahead, don't you? These people chase down as I hear. It laughs. We've got some experience when it comes to chasing folks. Tell me about it, Crow. Can you lower the music? I can't hear you. Yeah, give me a second. It's a weirdly loud game, no matter what I seem to do the settings at. Right, the world is full of people. I bet you could find another friend like that if you weren't looking around. And more and one interesting person in the land for sure. It gives a gravely laugh. That's what humans say anyway, and with that it launches into the air and disappears. What games do you stream? Pretty much anything. Let's have that come back up then. In fact, I'll leave that as there. Turn the music down a little further. That a bit better? It's hard because as soon as I come out of the menu it goes back up. It doesn't actually seem to go down any. Like that. Just see, that's attached to the main volume. Weird. But yeah, yeah, game-wise, all sorts really. I do like my puzzle games. Puzzle games are a big one for me. Super extreme, yeah. If a game catches my eye, I'll give it a go. I was playing a lot of Ark Raiders, but I've kind of got a bit bored of that. I prefer my co-op games to my PvPs. Or again, just my single players. Quite a fan of RPGs, but again, I have to be invested in the story.
But a grizzled man pauses at his digging to shoo them off. There's an extra shovel. With it, the two of you make short work of the grave. He tells you about his beliefs, why he's raising apple orchards in the middle of the country. It's a sin to graft, he tells you. Hurts the tree. Eventually, the hole is deep enough. He stoops to the ground and lowers the pup into the earth. Tears flow freely. I'll see him again in heaven, he tells you. Our souls are bound by love. He wipes his eyes. I don't think I can bear to stay here, though. Maybe I'll set out again.
Till my new job started, I did have a few more things I have planned for the future. Stream-wise, that aren't necessarily games as well. I still need to sort of finalise them, get a few bits set up before I kind of announce some of them. I can barely wait to get through the pleasantries before asking if you've heard this story. 110% true, he says. Heard it from my nephew. It happens to someone he knows well. Man launches into his telling. It's polished, and he obviously done this many times before. Tells you the story of the headless Hessian of Sleepy Hollow. You recognise the bones of it from experience of the rider in the woods. It's embellished in the interim, though. Yeah, I've done quite a few peak ones. I've never played Phasmophobia. I think I do have it in my shared library, but I don't own it. It's one of those. I think my partner has it. I've just never played it. What do you think, then, man, and move onwards? You have to remember that version. There's a new, I think there's a new update. Yeah, I quite like Peak. Yeah, definitely a friend's game, Peak. We played it a lot when it first came out. So we ended up taking a bit of a break from it. And then the new biome came out, played around with it for that. Kind of wanted to experience the BB No Money thing, but just didn't get around to it in the end. Hitman, I do have one of the Hitman games. I've never been that great at them.
The
Go on,
engines
Yu-Gi-Oh.
belch black smoke as the ferry churns grey water into froth. A broad-shouldered figure leans out over the rail, eyeing the skyscrapers on the horizon.
I might give it another go, because I've got
Nearby,
the,
A man and a woman, speaking low, urgent voices.
not the original.
He takes her wrist
I'll wait for this to
gently.
speak.
She is weeping softly.
Yeah, like the creative ways to kill the tide. Yeah, I like that kind of variety. It always appealed to me. I wasn't too bad on the original. This one's is it the fourth game, where it's just called Hitman again. Where you're training on the boat. And I think I got stuck on like the second or third level. Maybe I just need to lower the difficulty a bit and give it another go.
I wish you didn't have to go.
She says.
There's got to be work on some of those buildings going up.
His thumb skates over her pulse point.
I checked every day for a week. There ain't. I'll be back, though. Got your picture in my wallet, don't I? It's not forever.
And as much as I always loved the Splinter Cell games, admittedly I was never great at stealth games. It always took me a lot to actually get through them. Do you have a screening schedule? Sadly not. As I explained to Cora earlier, my new job is 7 PM till 3:30 in the morning, so I don't have any regularity anymore because my rota changes, and I'm usually quite tired a lot of the time as a result. Should be streaming a bit more through January because the hours drop then. And I'm hoping to find a better job that allows for a bit more streaming and time with friends and such.
Her words are split by a sob.
Might as well be. My parents didn't come to New York for this.
She leans against him, the wind tousling her hair. He pulls her to his chest.
I'm leaving because I gotta go. If there was another way...
They stand together, close, quiet. in the stiff breeze.
PC. I do have a PlayStation original, but I don't have it hooked up to my PC. My old PC has an Elgato streaming thing, but this one doesn't, I don't think. Work here. Starts around in the kind torrential tree stripping where that only happens once or twice a year. Everyone scrambles for cover, but one guy stares out in the street, a fellow with a bale of bent and lopsided umbrellas, 10 cents each. One opportunist. Written socked him through, but he's doing a roaring trade. Hey, he tells you, go run around on the main shopping streets and big valley umbrellas you see. People sometimes drop them. When they blow inside out, I'll pay. Yes, why not? What are your PC specs? Did I not? I'm not sure if I have them in my Twitch. Hang on a second. They're not in my about. Wait. So I have. I'll have to put these in my thing at some point. There we go. I always forget which thing I have. So it's Windows 11, Intel i9, GeForce RTX 3080. So not terrible, but getting a bit outdated now. But my rig's about 5 years old. It was just as the 4080s were coming out, but I didn't want to wait, and I was reading a lot of problems at the time with them, obviously with it being new. I thought I'd stick to what was already reliable at the time. Yeah, it's never really struggled with anything so far. It gets a bit warm when I play like Baldur's Gate 3, but again, not to the point where I'm concerned about it. I do need to clean out the water cooling system at some point though. So I can't afford to travel anywhere by train. What's back? About Crow. Get Black Crow alights on a low branch of twisted tree. Look at you at cars. Think you got some good stories already? Well, I heard better, much better, huh? Seems to wink at you. Wanna hear my tricks? Yeah, sure. How long have you been streaming for in general? About a year. I am still quite new to this. I've had a lot of friends help me along the way, and of course my partner, who kind of got me into the whole thing. You got now pathetic stuff. You tell those stories. Oh, brain just went then. You tell those stories around, and they'll come back for more exciting, more satisfying. So always listen to the stories other folks tell. Their tales are less true, sure, but more useful around the campfire. Interesting. Cute model. Thank you. Boss has a point about true ones, though, the crow admits. They're extra interesting. You learn a couple folks' true life stories, and everyone will like them, no matter what kind of.
Follow me, everything is alright.
Thanks for the follow. Yeah, it's a gecko. It took me a while to find a model that I actually liked. Making new friends, yeah. I'm not. Not overly social, but you know, I talk. I know everyone's a captain of their destiny. I'm gonna sneeze. Oh. Yeah. Something was simply because when I was trying to find a username, everything I put in was already taken. And as a joke, I put the something and it wasn't taken, so I just went for it. Yet no bootstraps in the world that can save you now, but the choices you make, they change the kind of story you can tell. It ruffles its feathers, a sort of shrug. Choose wisely or don't.
Well, I'm gonna cast my stones o'er the waters of this land, and by I'll see them far and long.
As noisy as it is, the soundtrack to this game's quite nice.
This will be my tale, my vagrant song. This will be my tale, my vagrant song.
Let's get out my routines. I've missed that. That's annoying. Oh, there we go. Right. I don't quite understand the whistling.
Low tide on
Jump
a
out of
moonless
discard.
night.
Yeah.
This beach is long, stretching toward a receding sea. In the darkness, the sand seems coarse and gray, alien. The stars are dim and distant.
Exclamation mark Geckord, Geckord. We'll bring it up in chat for you.
It outshines the stars with its presence, a streak of sickly colored light, leaving a trail of distorted fire. It slowly creeps along the sky like a vast worm, though you know that, given the distance, it must be moving at great speed. Its parabola heads south to north. In the far distance, just for a second, a boardwalk town is engulfed in light. With a rumble, its street lamps and windows
I'll be probably
dim,
ending stream in about
then
10
go
minutes.
dark.
Oh, I'll
All that you
catch
can
up with
see
all my Discord
emanating
stuff
from
then.
there is an otherworldly color that you can't quite name.
I'm gone empty. They're the ones who'll bury me. Cast my stones in the waters of this land. Down for to take me hand in hand. This will be my tale, my vagrant song.
Thanks for the pats.
This will be my tale,
Do need to figure out how to do a nose boop one of those.
my vagrant song.
These men lean against the wall of this hardware store, smoking and chatting. They wave you over. You heard this one before? They launch into a group recitation of the taxi, which shows its ride as a future, interrupting.
Crowds of excited people lined the streets and waved to the Kennedys. The car turned off Main Street at Dealey Plaza around 12:30 p.m. As it was passing the Texas School Book Depository, Kennedy jumped up and yelled, "I'm JFK, shoot me," as he threw his hands in the air. Gunfire suddenly reverberated in the plaza. Bullets struck the president's neck and head and he slumped over toward Mrs. Kennedy. The governor was shot in his back. Sal was never caught. Rumor has it he was paid in foot and fish porn.
That out of context, I realise how weird that sounds to a new streamer. Gonna have to give him a shout out now. Yeah, we like to have a little laugh with some of our friends. That's Sal.
Always wanted to do. Like Christmas, like I said, this month of Christmas, I'm going to go through a lot of my childhood games, like a little cool thing. June next year, I got a little fun little anniversary project I want to do.
Okay,
Stuff
see you
like
later,
that.
man.
This allows me to have a creative outlet of projects that I can do instead of just doing nothing. And to see the support from all of you has been immaculate. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the people I've met, the lessons I
Muddling through the dark, you stumble into the path of the white deer. Its beauty strikes you at once. It is something otherworldly, beyond borders, a moon swimming in the void. Human shouts not far away break the spell. The deer's ears prick up. This thing is being hunted. You know a way out of here. As the hunter's cries get louder, you approach the deer carefully, palms outstretched. As you grow close, your features become clearer in the light of the deer's aura. It bolts into the path of an oncoming train.
Stranger, it's good to see you again. You know, I'm gonna see this whole world one day, but for now, I just got my sights set on seeing all 48 of the great U.S. I already seen 10 whole states. That's better than my folks ever done, that's for sure. Plenty of townies and even some tramps treat me like I'm kid simple. But I ain't helpless, and I only act it when I ain't got no better choice, like if I get pinched. I do right fine on my own. Don't need nobody but Cass and Flip. I want to hear one of them venturing tales. Got any? Ain't life got enough tearjerkers in it without telling stories like that? You want to talk about heaven? Ain't no good I can recall coming my life from praying. Small things, big things, no answer all the same. Hey, tell me one of those exciting stories. Whoa, quite a story, stranger. Huh, authority. The coppers and rail yard dicks don't ruffle me none. I just tell them my poor ma and my poor pa died of the pneumonia. I give 'em crocodile tears about trying to get over to my grand just down the way. All I got's left is my dogs, mister. Works damn near every time. Hey, do you got any really thrilling stories to tell? I'm hankering for one of those. Well, I sure was a downer. Give me a good venture tale. Freedom? Well, that's what them trains have come to mean to me. Freedom. Crossing a country wider than imagination. I want a story that scares me. Now I'm older, almost nobody can do it. Well, I sure was a downer. Give me a love story. Well, some of the songs say love is like being sick in your heart. Don't sound too pleasant to me. I love my dogs, but it don't feel like being sick. Being sick in your heart sounds more like getting Judased. Something I know a thing or two about. I want to hear one of them venturing tales. Got any? What's the use in telling sweet, happy tales if they make you snooze? There you go, talking about family. Like I said, don't need nobody but my dogs. Flip's still a little green. Found him starving and angry by the roadside a few months back. He gets riled now and again, but he don't do nothing too bad if you just wait and let him get it out of his system. He's good to have around most times, and Cass sure seems to enjoy the company. Well, sun's coming up, so I've got to get ready to go. Thanks for the tales, friend. Where you heading next? Decided yet? Maybe our paths will cross. Hope I'll see something fun. I generally do, you know. There's interesting things to see everywhere if you keep your eyes open.
think that's gonna be it. Interesting little game, though. Journey into town. Today, we're gonna find someone to ride out on. Shin is the only one on my list. They're actually streaming. And right on them. Playing Satisfactory. That work? Oh, yeah. If you watch me on Kick, and this is the end. If you're watching me on Twitch, we're about to raid Shin Kujo. Go give him a bit of love. Thanks everyone for watching. Until next time, goodbye.